How is it possible that a country with fewer than 600,000 people managed to take points away from two giants of world football? How can a nation smaller than many major cities around the world stand side by side with teams that have history, money, and world-class superstars? And even more surprising, at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, Cape Verde held Spain to a 0-0 draw, then shocked everyone again by drawing 2-2 with Uruguay. Two former world champions failed to beat a small country in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. So who exactly is Cape Verde? Where did they come from? And how did this tiny nation turn itself into one of the most surprising stories in modern football? Today, we are going to explore the incredible story of Cape Verde, a small country that is slowly proving that in football, size isn't everything. Country that almost no one heard of. Cape Verde, also known as Cabo Verde, is an island nation located in the Atlantic Ocean, about 600 kilometers off the coast of West Africa. The country is made up of 10 volcanic islands scattered across the ocean. If you look at a world map, there's a good chance you'll struggle to find it. Its total land area is only around 4,000 square kilometers. Its population doesn't even reach 1 million people. For comparison, many cities in Indonesia have populations much larger than the entire population of Cape Verde. But despite its small size, this country has something extremely valuable: a survival mentality. For centuries, the people of Cape Verde lived on isolated islands. They faced droughts, limited resources, and difficult geographic conditions. Over time, those challenges shaped the character of the people. Strong, resilient, and always ready to face challenges bigger than themselves. That same character can now be seen on the football field. The big shock at the 2026 World Cup. Then came the moment that changed the way the world looked at Cape Verde. The 2026 FIFA World Cup. For the first time in their history, Cape Verde reached the biggest stage in football. Many experts predicted they would be completely outclassed, especially because they were placed in the same group as Spain and Uruguay, two countries with incredible football histories. Spain won the World Cup in 2010. They're known for their dominant style of play and exceptional ball possession. Meanwhile, Uruguay is a nation that has won the World Cup twice, a team that has produced many football legends. On paper, Cape Verde had no chance. But football isn't played on paper. Against Spain, Cape Verde showed incredible discipline. Attack after attack was stopped. Chance after chance was denied. And when the final whistle blew, the score remained 0-0. Spain failed to score. The world started paying attention. But the surprise wasn't over. A few days later, they faced Uruguay. Many people thought the draw against Spain was just luck. But Cape Verde proved their quality once again. They matched Uruguay throughout the game, and even created several dangerous chances of their own. The match ended 2-2. At that point, nobody could call it a coincidence anymore. Two matches against former world champions. 2 times Cape Verde stood their ground. 2 times they took points. A country shaped by the ocean and volcanoes. If you look at photos of Cape Verde, you might think it's a secret travel destination that the world hasn't discovered yet. The country is made up of volcanic islands spread across the Atlantic Ocean. One of the most famous is Fogo Island. This island is home to Pico de Fogo, the highest active volcano in the country. They're used to living with nature at its toughest and most unpredictable. For the people of Cape Verde, survival isn't a choice. It's simply part of everyday life. And maybe that's exactly why Cape Verde's players are so difficult to break on the football field. Hard to break. Hard to defeat. Always ready for a challenge. A hidden paradise that most of the world doesn't know about. Even though the name isn't widely known, Cape Verde is actually home to incredible natural beauty. The ocean is crystal blue. The weather stays warm almost all year round. Many European travelers even call Cape Verde Africa's Caribbean. Sal Island and Boa Vista are among the most popular destinations for visitors looking for world-class beaches without the crowds found in more famous tourist hotspots. What's unique is that despite its beautiful scenery and growing tourism industry, the people of Cape Verde are still known for being humble and welcoming. They live in very close-knit communities. That sense of togetherness is clearly reflected in their national football team. While other countries rely on superstar players, Cape Verde relies on teamwork. Maybe that's why they're able to play as one unit against much stronger opponents. Music that reached the world and the soul of Cape Verde. If there's one thing the people of Cape Verde are most proud of besides football, it's music. This small country produced a world-famous singer named Cesaria Evora. She became known as the Barefoot Diva because she often performed without shoes as a tribute to the poor people of Cape Verde. Cape Verde's traditional music has its own unique genre called morna. Its songs are filled with emotion, longing, struggle, and hope. Many people say that morna reflects the soul of Cape Verde itself, a small nation, often underestimated, but with a huge heart. And when you look at the journey of their national team at the World Cup, those same values still seem alive today. They didn't arrive as favorites. They didn't arrive as title contenders. But they arrived with courage. The courage that stopped Spain from scoring. The courage that denied Uruguay a victory. And the courage that introduced the name Cape Verde to the entire world. Africa's hidden gem in the Atlantic. If someone looked at photos of Cape Verde without knowing where it was, they would probably guess it was somewhere in the Caribbean. White sandy beaches. Crystal blue waters. Sunny skies almost all year long. The scenery is so beautiful that it's hard to believe the country is still relatively unknown. Sal Island and Boa Vista are two of its most famous tourist destinations. Visitors from across Europe come here to enjoy the beaches, diving, and surfing. Some even describe Cape Verde as a hidden gem of the Atlantic. But what makes this country special isn't just its natural beauty. The people of Cape Verde are known for being friendly and having a strong sense of community. Because life on small islands brings people closer together, relationships between locals are incredibly strong. That culture of unity is reflected in their national football team. Cape Verde may not have global superstars dominating headlines, but they have something that is often even more important: teamwork. On the field, they play as one. No individual is bigger than the team. And maybe that's why they're able to compete against nations filled with much more famous players. Because football isn't only about talent. Sometimes, football is about how much a team believes in each other. A country with a diaspora larger than its own population. If there's one truly surprising fact about Cape Verde, this might be the most incredible one. The number of people of Cape Verdean descent living abroad is actually larger than the population living in Cape Verde itself. Yes, you heard that right. For decades, many Cape Verdeans have moved to different countries. They settled in Portugal, France, the Netherlands, Belgium, Spain, the United States, and Luxembourg. As a result, Cape Verdean communities can be found all over the world. This has created something very unique. Even though the country is small, its influence reaches far beyond its borders. And this has had a huge impact on football as well. Many Cape Verde national team players were born or raised in Europe. They received modern football training from a young age. They developed in professional academies. They experienced high-level competition. Then, when representing the national team, they brought that experience back to the country of their ancestors. That's what makes Cape Verde different. They're a small nation with a truly global network. And when they faced Spain or Uruguay, they weren't completely unfamiliar with world-class football. So now we know that Cape Verde is much more than just a surprise team. They are a volcanic nation shaped by harsh natural conditions. They are a hidden paradise in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. They are a small nation whose culture has spread across the world. And now, they are a country that is making the football world pay attention. When they drew with Spain, many people called it luck. When they drew with Uruguay as well, the world started to think differently. Maybe Cape Verde doesn't have the long football history of Brazil. Maybe they don't have as many trophies as Germany. And maybe they don't have millions of players like some of the world's biggest football nations. But they have something that can't be measured by numbers. Courage, passion, and the belief that even a small nation can stand alongside the giants of the game. From a group of small islands in the Atlantic Ocean, the name Cape Verde is now being heard around the world. And the question is no longer who Cape Verde is. The real question now is, how far can they go?